My piece is called Felt Up in France. You guys hear me okay? Yeah. My breasts attract attention, solicit gropes even, but only when they're in France. Part 1. I can't remember a time when I wasn't waiting for my breasts to come in. Even as young as 7 or 8, I can distinctly recall planning my future around them. Family friends went on sabbatical for 2 years when I wrote in my journal, by the time the Westings are back from Vietnam, I'll have my boobs. I waited for them like a package, like a really special delivery. Eventually, around age 12, I began to see signs of breasts, hints of tits, if you will. Though they were certainly taking their time, blossoming into the fleshy mounds I had dreamed of. Between Claudia Schiffer and Bo Derek with their famous curves and flesh-filled jeans and bikinis, I knew that everything that felt weird and wrong about my body would resolve once I had my womanly parts. I would turn heads, become mysterious and captivating, and all my dreams would come true. It was so simple. My starter breasts were tiny and weird little flesh bumps the size of thimbles. It was better than nothing. I planned to keep my budding developments hidden until there was more to show off and they were ready for their grand reveal, whenever that would be. As much as I wanted breasts, I equally wanted a bra, but I didn't want to talk about it, especially with my mother. Other moms simply bought bras and put them in their daughters' drawers to avoid awkward conversations. Not my mom. My mother, my very French mother, was more than comfortable to talk about bras and periods and sex and drugs, and nothing was off limits. She offered to buy me a bra many, many times, mentioning it as if it was nothing, not realizing my dread every time she broached the subject. And instead of responding with a polite, yes, please, or a nonchalant, like, no, sure, whatever, I ignored her, sometimes pretending like I didn't even hear. Meanwhile, my mind is screaming, yes, yes, can we go right this second, please, please, please. I waited for a bra to magically appear, and not surprisingly, I received no bra. The summer after 6th grade, I was preparing for the massive leap to middle school when we were in France visiting my grandparents outside of Paris. One day, my mom announced she was taking me shopping in the city alone. She had a plan. My brother and father would stay behind. We would have a girls' day out, including a ladies' lunch. We were not that kind of mother and daughter who had our nails done or our hair. We both hated shopping. I was instantly suspicious. The train whisked us away towards Paris while we sat in silence looking out the window. The buildings got taller and more soot-covered the closer we got. There we were, me stuck somewhere between girlhood and womanhood, chomping on my strawberry Hollywood gum and avoiding eye contact with my mom and conversation. My mom sat quietly. The train dumped us into the basement of the towering department store Printemps. We got on the gold elevator and rode up to the 7th floor. My heartbeat quickened and I gulped hard as the elevator lurched to a stop. My mother strode ahead with the determination of a woman on a mission, and I followed closely behind like a little duckling as we walked into a sea of lace and ladies. I looked left, I saw bras. I looked right, more bras. I looked straight ahead and saw more bras still. I smiled quietly inside my head, but managed to maintain my sullen demeanor for my mom's sake. God forbid I let her know how excited I really was. My moment had arrived. We approached a 4-sided display with bins of white, black, and pink fabric neatly stacked. In the center stood a tall, middle-aged French woman, elegantly dressed in a crisp white shirt, black slacks, severe horn-rimmed glasses, and a name tag that read, Violette. Suddenly getting a bra did not seem like such a good idea. Bonjour, madame, we're here to find a first bra for my daughter. Can you help? My mother asked in French. Bien sûr, Violette replied, with a smile as she turned to me, clearly delighted. Mademoiselle, she said, faites voir. As I'm waiting to hear exactly what she needs to see, Madame Violette has reached across the display with lightning-fast speed, and before I know what's happening, I feel her long, bony fingers groping my chest, looking for signs of breasts, her face scrunched up as she stares into my eyes. There they were, my teeny tiny breasts minding their own business under my ratty green t-shirt, suddenly being touched for the first time. By a stranger. Just like that. Hold on, what? I had often dreamed of what it would be like to have breasts one day and to share them with someone. This older French woman was not in the picture. First dibs were being saved for Tony Terrizzi or Andrew Adams or someone else, almost anyone else. Horrified, I froze. I was shown to a dressing room with a shiny linoleum floor and a mirror on the wall, where my face, stunned, stared back at me. My mother stood guard while Violette shuffled off. I waited and I sweat. Soon, Violette was back and chatting with my mother, discussing the different choices and agreeing on the few I should try on. A handful of hangers were thrust at me through the curtain, which I hung on a hook. There they were. Bras. Maybe my bras. Here we go. I had read enough Judy Blume to know that I should first connect the bra around my waist backwards and then turn it around. The first was itchy and lacy and barely fit around my ribcage. Easy now. The next was soft and cotton and fluffy and it felt like a baby bra. No way. I wanted a real deal bra. The third was almost a Goldilocks moment. And I'm sure if I listened hard, I would have heard harps or bells or some other indication that I had found the one. The bra was the perfect mix of lace and cotton, sophisticated yet simple. By the time I pulled the straps up and over my shoulders and prepared to have a look at what I was sure was the answer to all my prayers, my time alone was up. My mom and Violette burst through the curtain together as if on a team who had trained together for months, each shoving the other out of the way for a better view. Their faces changed from initial excitement to one of matching concern. In rapid-fire French, they agreed something was wrong, very wrong. Violette began by pantomiming how to place my minuscule breast flesh in the bra. When that didn't work, she reached over again and slid her hands inside the bra to help nudge things in the right direction. I stood perfectly still, trying to transcend my body until this next round of fondling was over. When they were satisfied, the team left as abruptly as they came in, flinging the curtain shut behind them, giggling as they walked away. As thrilled as I was to have a bra, I refused to wear it home. Instead, I carried it in a small paper bag crumpled up inside my purse. I didn't want to seem overly eager or satisfied to my very pleased mother, which was unkind, but not unusual. The rest of the world was a different story. I couldn't wait to show off how special and better my first French bra was to my friends at home, much more exotic than the ones they were showing up with from JCPenney, all padded and generic from some box hanging on a display. As much as I wanted to share the news of my bra with the greater world, I hid that bra from my family as long as possible. I wore only dark shirts to hide the strap marks so my brother couldn't tease me, and I never washed it. As in never. Not once. For more months than I can remember, until one day it was more black than white. So one night I waited until my entire family was asleep, and I filled the pink bathroom sink with hot water and hand soap and submerged my bra and swished it in the water until it turned a murky gray. In that moment, I knew I had to find a better plan to take care of my one bra and hoped that someday I would find a way to get more bras and eventually have more to put in them. Thank you.